born in Russia, in the city of Vladikavkaz. And then when I was 3 years old, my parents moved to Israel.
The Australian Open begins in a few days. What are your thoughts and feelings leading up to the tournament?
And I'm in good shape. I will do my best every match, every game, every set. I have a big team that work together. A couple of years ago, I was like breaking the racket every time. The game just destroyed. I was destroying myself.
What did you have to change?
I think it's more mental part. I was the first one who wants to play every day. So first of all, you have to love what you are doing. You cannot make it alone.
Hi, I'm Elina Reddy and welcome to Russian Influence. Today we're talking to Aslan Karatsev, a rising tennis star who is currently ranked number 4 in Russia. He's in Melbourne for the Australian Open. It wasn't an easy path for Aslan to get to the Australian Open in 2021. He had to play and win 3 qualifying matches in order to reach the main draw in the Australian Open. Due to the COVID restrictions, the qualifying matches took place in Doha, Qatar. After qualifying, Aslan had to quarantine for 2 weeks in a Melbourne hotel before we could interview him. Aslan's journey is inspiring. In just 1 year, he has achieved a significant jump in rankings from 253 to 111 in the world, and he is currently ranked 4th in Russia. Let's find out how he managed to achieve this. Welcome to Russian Influence. Thank you so much for participating in our TV show.
Thanks a lot for having me. It's a big pleasure. I hope we have a good conversation.
Aslan, what led you to pursue tennis as a professional career?
It's everyday practicing. It's first of all, you have to love what you are doing, and it's everyday process. I mean, if you're not love it with your all heart, it's tough to make it. And of course, I have the point when I want to achieve it, and I have a big team that work together. So if you are alone, it will be more tough for me to make it.
The Australian Open begins in a few days. What are your thoughts and feelings leading up to the tournament?
We played qualifying in Doha, Qatar, and I did pretty well. I was preparing all December with my coach, with my team in Minsk, Belarus, and I'm in good shape, and I think I can make good results. I mean, I will do my best every match, every game, every set, and then we'll see in game what happens.
In the last year, you have achieved a significant jump in rankings from 253 to 111, and you are ranked 4th in Russia. That is absolutely incredible. How did you manage to achieve this?
It was a long process with my new coach. We started to work since 2017, end of 2017, and it's not like just happened in one day. So it was a long process of 2 years, and then beginning of 2020, I already felt myself, okay, I'm on the good way to start to play a big tournament, and then the pandemic started in March, and everybody stopped playing, and then I was still preparing myself to go out and play again. And 2 months before the start, I started to already prepare myself for the tournaments. I went to US to play exhibition matches over there, and then I came to tournament already prepared with the matches. I have a lot of experience. I have matches. I don't know. I cannot say nothing about other players how they prepare, but I was really good. I was prepared mentally and physically as well.
You have a new coach. What is his name?
Igor Yatsuk. He's from Belarus. He was playing before, and I know him since we were 14 years old. We're a good friend, and then we just one day in a tournament in France, we just decided to try, and it works.
What did he make you change?
We work a lot. I think it's more mental part than something technique or physical. Of course, he's also, but we more works on the mental part. This is the most hard thing in sport like tennis. So he helped me to understand more the game, how to react in every situation.
What do you think is the biggest psychological barrier for a tennis player?
I think, my opinion, is to do every day. It's everyday process. You can't do like 2 days you're working, 2 days you're off. It's like long process. You have to be there every day, 100%. You have to show up every day. And if you have a team, everyone has to do his part of the job, like 100%. Otherwise, you can't make the big achievement in this sport.
So far in your tennis career, what was the most difficult match?
I would go with, I would say Kachanov, the last that I remember, but it was a good match.
When did that take place?
It was 2020 in the October, St. Petersburg Open. And I was doing well, but I was physically, I had cramp.
Yep.
But all in all, the match was really good and, of course, tough. And in the end, I lost it. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, but you have won lots of matches afterwards. In fact, how many matches did you have to win to get into the main draw of the Australian Open?
I get through the qualis. I play qualis, and then you have to make main draw in Australian Open. You have to be at least 104, and then the plan was to play the 2 tournaments in the end. So I played the first one. It was Italy, Ortizé, and the plan was to win the tournament. Then I can make one more tournament. But in the end, I lost in the semi-final, so it doesn't make sense to play the second one because I didn't get the points to be main draw Australian Open to do it without qualis. So in the end, I have to play qualis.
How many matches in the qualifying?
You have to play 3 matches, 3 rounds to pass the qualis, then you're main draw.
If you actually think about it, like you would have been already into the round 4.
Yeah.
Really.
Different opponent, different matches. Like, I was born in Russia, in the city of Vladikavkaz. And then when I was 3 years old, my parents moved to Israel. A couple of years ago, I was like breaking the racket every time. The game just destroyed. I was destroying myself.
What did you have to change?
I think it's more mental part. I was the first one who wants to play every day. So first of all, you have to love what you're doing. You cannot make it alone.
Favorite childhood memory?
I was born in Russia, in the city of Vladikavkaz. And then when I was 3 years old, my parents moved to Israel. I was living there from 3.5 until 13. We was living there. My sister, my mom, they're still there, living there. Yeah, of course, the best memory was when I was 6 years old, 7 years old, when I was going to school. After school, I went to the practice. So when you don't have responsibility, you do whatever you want. That was the best time.
How old were you when you started playing tennis?
I started to play tennis in Israel. I was like 3.5, and it was one day we went from from the beach to the home already. We walk home already, and my parents just saw the tennis club in few meters from my hometown. Sorry, from my home, not town. And we just went to the tennis center, and my sister started to play there. And it's why.
Was she an older sister or younger sister?
No, this is older sister.
Yeah.
She's 86. I mean,
Yeah,
born.
she was born 1986.
86. And she started to play, and then after a while, I started to take the racket, trying to play. And yeah, I started to play 3.5 on the wall, and then at 4 years old, I was already in the group. And she played, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 2 more years, and then she quit. And that's it.
How hard was it for you to give up on some childhood pleasures due to the sacrifice needed to pursue your sporting career?
In my case, it was like I was the first one who wants to play every day. Going to the club every day, it doesn't have to be someone forced me to play. So I had a school, and then after my school, I went with my dad to play tennis. And he was showing up every single practice on my. He was there.
Was he a tennis player
No,
as
no,
well, or
no,
he was just supporting you?
He was supporting me. He played football before. And
So you are from a family of athletes.
yeah, but he didn't play that professional. He played, but
Yeah.
not the highest level. And he was there every day with me, walking to the center, going back. And it was like I was already 6 years old, 7 years old, all the family just was into it. So it's not like you cannot make it alone.
Yeah. You need a village.
Yeah.
So you've always been very supported by your family members.
Yes, and the grandmother, the grandfather, the old was there. Like my parents was working. They was taking me from the school, making the food, brings me to the tennis club. On the way back, my father was there, coming from the work.
Have you been? So you left Vladikavkaz, Russia, when you were 3. Have you ever been back?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I was when I was 14.
Yeah.
I go back there, and I was playing 2 more years there, and then I moved to Rostov-Don,
Yeah.
the States, and that city was Taganrog, and there was one sponsor that helps me. He just saw some tournaments that I played, and he said, "Okay, let's come to my city." He has his own academy. In that time, it was when I was 16,
Yeah.
and he said, "I will support you." So he
So it's
was.
like a voluntary in.
No, it's you're
but
taking too much.
but in Russia, yeah.
This was 4 clay courts, 2 hard
Yeah.
courts indoor, and he
A
said,
mini version.
yes. And he has a hotel there, a gym, and he said like, okay, I will be a sponsor, and just come here, and I will support you with expenses, with everything. And then he did really well until 20 years old, because he had the crisis, when the crisis started, 2008.
Yeah.
And he got big trouble, but he was still supporting me a lot. And we are in good contact now. And then when I was 21 years old, 20 years old, from 18 to 20 I was in Moscow already, practicing 2 years over there. And then when I was 20, end of the year, Tursunov started to help me a lot. And he said, if you want to turn professional, you have to move to another place to get more professional.
Yeah.
And I went to Germany, in Halle. I was practicing there almost 2 years. And I got some trouble over there. We didn't make it with the German coach. And I was moved to Barcelona. So I was jumping from some bases.
That's a lot of moving around.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just in the end, I was.
And what was the trouble in Germany?
There was a big trouble, not big, some trouble with the coach, and but then we decided just to split.
Didn't get along.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Barcelona in Bulgaria Academy. I was there like almost 2 years. And then one more small academy in MTB with one more coach as well. And then I just decided to to stop to be in Europe, and I was saying, okay, I'll try something else. And then, by luck, I saw my friend in the tournament, and then he said, let's try together.
Yep.
And it just worked, but it's like luck, I would say.
What is the routine of your average tennis practice? Like, how often do you train?
You train every day, depends if you go with the pre-season. It's different if you go every day. It's like in the morning you play 2 hours tennis, you have a gym, and then afternoon you have a session, 2 hours, and then it could be more gym or runnings. So it goes like 6 hours, 7 hours per day. Yeah, it's everyday process. You have of course day offs, but mostly it's every day.
What is the most perfect weather condition that you prefer to play?
I like
Surely
when it's hot.
it's like 44 degrees at the Australian Open, no?
I like when it's hot.
Yeah?
And because I grew up in Israel, and there I was practicing every day at 3 p.m., 2 p.m., and it's like 40, 38 average. For
That's
me,
like
it's hot.
really in the heat,
Yeah, I don't like
in
cold.
the sun.
Yes, I don't like cold, but
So you won't be traveling to Antarctica, no?
no. Never. When I like when it's snow,
Yeah?
but for example, if you take Moscow, it's everything dirty. When the winter is coming, everything dirty, and snow is coming. But if you go, for example, Alps, there is a beautiful snow, and yeah, the view, it looks good.
Yeah, well, Vladikavkaz has magnificent mountains.
Yeah, there is the mountains, yeah, but depends of the weather condition. If you get it, if you go to the top, it's beautiful, with snow. I mean, but if you go to the city, it's not that cold, so you get the snow and then it gets melt.
Aslan, please share a few psychological methods that you find are useful for you to have a successful tennis performance.
We spoke about that with the coach, and we tried to find some solution during the match that you don't focus on your bad things, what you're doing, and to put more effort on your good things, and you have to think like positive things. Yes, and we try to do it, because a couple of years ago I was like breaking the racket every time, start to talk negativity to myself, and then the game just destroyed. I was destroying myself, and we tried to work on it, like go more positive way instead of bad things, not focusing on the bad things, focusing on the good things.
So what do you do, like affirmations? I feel calm, I feel good. Like, what do you do? Some breathing exercises?
No, nothing special like that. I was trying to go with the breathing, but it's not that I felt something special on that. But no.
In fantasy world, if you could have a superpower, what would that be?
I would like to fly.
Yeah.
But I don't like to fly on the airplane, but
No?
it's strange, yeah, but I would like to fly.
That's a pretty cool one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had, or do you have any pets?
I had the dog when I was 6 years old in Israel, and my grandma and grandfather, they bring one dog from Moscow, and there was a small pincher. His name was Richie.
Richie.
And he died 18 years old.
Oh wow.
Yes, and he was like passed a few years ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is the dog that I was growing up, let's say.
Yeah, your family member.
All the rest, at the moment, no.
Well, you travel a lot, so it would be a
it's
little
tough
bit
to have it.
difficult. Yeah. Is there a particular tennis player that you admire?
Not really. I can say that I would love to. I'm loving to watch like how Roger playing and the big matches like Roger, Rafa, but not like that someone that I admire. But just to watch and to take some good things from the big player.
What is it about their matches that you like? I mean, obviously they are very successful, but what is it about their style or their attitude towards the game?
I think the good thing how they're doing, they just work every point, not going on the bad things as I said before, and focusing how to play the next ball. For example, Roger doing it well, Noel, Rafa. So these small things, you realize how they're good, how they manage it.
Aslan, what is your impression of Australia?
I've been here many times, and I like this city. The big trouble for me is to change the time zone when I arrive. So I used to do it before when I arrive. I go to work, visit the city, but now when we arrived, we was quarantined from the beginning 4 days, and it was tough. And I couldn't stay. I couldn't hold myself not to sleep at the room, because once you're at the room and you have to hold yourself, it's not possible. So it takes me like 1 week to get used to the rhythm, to adjust. But all in all, the city is fantastic. The people here is amazing, so nice.
When you travel to play in tournaments, do you get a chance to really get to know cities, or do you always train and play and then travel somewhere else?
Sometimes I have an opportunity to watch some historic city or stuff like that, but it's when I've been already many times in the same city, no. But if it's something new, of course I would like to watch something, and I have some day off, and I go for a good dinner, and we can visit around some new things.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
And we wish you all the best of luck.
Thanks.
For the Australian Open. We will be there to watch you.
Thank you very much.
And support you.
Thanks.
Elina, great interview with Russian influence as always. Aslan, I wish you best of luck on Australia Open. You do well.
Я родился в России, на юге России, в республике Дагестан, в небольшом селе Курах.
Когда состоялся ваш первый поединок, а вам было страшно?
Фас!
И вот он меня просто, грубо говоря, избивал там весь второй раунд. Потом уже ребята привели меня в чувство. А в пятом раунде в конце я уже его нокаутировал. Все бы, что бы ты ни делал в ринге, это уже предопределено. Тебе надо просто выйти и сделать свою работу. А результат уже он предопределен от Бога. Поэтому надо выйти и просто ничего не бояться. Надо сделать все то, что ты репетировал, то, что ты делал в зале. И у меня дочка родилась в Мельбурне здесь, чему я очень рад и очень сильно их люблю.